The stars looked peaceful through the window of the HSS Endeavour. Ji-won Park sat at her station, watching the sensor screens with careful eyes. This was her first real mission after graduating from the academy. She wanted everything to be perfect. The training vessel moved slowly through the outer rim sector. This area of space was dangerous. Most human ships avoided it. But the Endeavour was here to teach young officers how to handle difficult situations. Ji-won felt nervous and excited at the same time. Captain Tae-sung-ri walked across the bridge. He was a tall man with gray hair and kind eyes. He had been flying ships for 30 years. The crew trusted him completely. "Everything normal, Cadet Park?" he asked. "Yes, sir. No contacts on sensors. All systems running well," Ji-won replied. She tried to sound confident. Lieutenant Hae-in Song stood at the tactical station. She was Ji-won's mentor and teacher. Hae-in had survived 3 combat missions. She knew how to stay calm when things went wrong. "Keep your eyes sharp out here," Hae-in said quietly to Ji-won. "This sector has a bad reputation." Ji-won's best friend, Ensign Bora Choi, worked at the communication station. Bora smiled at Ji-won from across the bridge. They had gone through academy training together. Bora always knew how to make Ji-won feel better when she was worried. Then everything changed. The lights on Ji-won's console turned red. Warning sounds filled the bridge. Her heart jumped into her throat. "Contact!" Ji-won shouted. Large vessel dropping out of stealth. Right above us. A massive ship appeared on the main screen. It was 3 times the size of the Endeavour. The hull was dark red and covered with weapons. Ji-won recognized the design from her studies. Kryloth, Predators, Raiders, Killers, Shields up. "Evasive pattern Delta," Captain Ri ordered. The Endeavour turned hard to the left. But the Kryloth ship was faster. Green energy beams shot from its weapons. The first hit made the whole ship shake. Sparks flew from a console near the back of the bridge. "Shields at 60%, Hae-in called out. "That is not good. They are much more powerful than us." Ji-won watched her screens. The numbers were bad. The Endeavour was a training ship. It had light weapons and basic shields. The Kryloth vessel was built for hunting and killing. Another hit. Then another. The shields were failing. "Sir, we cannot take many more hits like that," Hae-in said. Her voice stayed calm, but Ji-won could hear the worry underneath. The Kryloth ship moved above them like a predator playing with its food. Then a voice came through the speakers. It was deep and rough, speaking through a translator. "Human vessel. This is Warlord Grickstar of the Kryloth Empire. Your shields are breaking. Your weapons are weak. You cannot escape. Surrender now and some of you may live. Fight and you will all die slowly." The bridge went silent. Everyone looked at Captain Ri. His face was hard. Ji-won knew he was thinking about all of them. The crew was his responsibility. "Captain, we could send a distress signal," Hae-in suggested. "Maybe. No one will get here in time," Captain Ri said quietly. "We are 3 days from the nearest human base. The Kryloth will destroy us before help arrives." Ji-won's hands gripped her console. This could not be happening. Not on her first mission. Not like this. Captain Ri took a deep breath. Ji-won saw the pain in his eyes. "Lower shields," he said. "Send the surrender signal," Sir Hae-in started. "That is an order, Lieutenant. I will not watch this crew die today if I can prevent it." Bora sent the signal. The Kryloth ship stopped firing. Ji-won felt sick. They had given up without a real fight. 30 minutes later, the Kryloth boarding parties arrived. The airlock doors opened with a loud hiss. Huge aliens walked onto the Endeavour. They were tall with dark red skin and yellow eyes. Sharp claws extended from their hands. They wore armor covered with small bones, trophies from previous victims. The crew of the Endeavour stood in the cargo bay. Captain Ri had ordered everyone to gather there. No resistance. No fighting. He wanted to keep them alive. The Kryloth warriors walked between them, looking at each human like they were examining animals. One warrior pushed a young engineer to the ground. Another laughed when a crew member flinched. Ji-won stood next to Bora. Her friend's hand shook. Ji-won wanted to comfort her, but she could not move. Fear kept her frozen. A Kryloth warrior walked up to them. He was bigger than the others. His armor had more bones, more trophies. His yellow eyes moved slowly across the crew until they stopped on Ji-won. He stepped closer. Ji-won could smell him, blood and chemicals. Her stomach turned. "This one," the warrior said. His voice was cold. "She has fire in her eyes. She will be good entertainment for the warlord." "No." Bora grabbed Ji-won's arm. The warrior hit Bora. She fell hard. Ji-won moved without thinking. She swung her fist at the warrior's face. Her hand connected with his jaw. It was like hitting a wall. Pain shot through Ji-won's hand. The warrior did not even move. He smiled, showing sharp teeth. "Yes, definitely this one," he said. He grabbed Ji-won by the arm. His grip was like iron. "Let her go." Captain Ree stepped forward. "I am the commander. Take me instead." The warrior called Velcros looked at the captain. Then he laughed. "It was a terrible sound. You are old, weak, broken by time. The young one has spirit. She will be more fun to break." Velcros dragged Ji-won toward the airlock. She tried to fight, but it was useless. He was too strong. She looked back at her crew, at Captain Ree's helpless expression, at Heian's angry face, at Bora crying on the floor. "We will keep your crew alive," Velcro said over his shoulder. "As long as she survives the hunt. If she dies quickly, so do they. Tell her that. Let her carry that weight." The airlock closed behind them. Ji-won was pulled into the darkness of the Kryloth ship. The last thing she saw was Bora's face pressed against the window, tears running down her cheeks. Ji-won Park was alone now, alone with predators who thought she was weak, who thought she was prey. They were about to learn they were wrong. Ji-won woke up on a cold metal floor. Her head hurt. Her right hand was swollen from hitting the Kryloth warrior. For a moment she did not remember where she was. Then the memories came back. The attack. The surrender. Velcros dragging her away. She sat up slowly and looked around. She was in a small cell. The walls were dark metal. Old scratches covered every surface. Deep claw marks. Someone had tried to escape. Many someones. The floor had dark stains that Ji-won tried not to think about. A small window showed space outside. Ji-won could see the Endeavor through it. Her ship, her crew. They looked so close but impossibly far away. The door opened with a loud clang. Velcros walked in. He had to duck under the doorway. His yellow eyes studied her like she was an interesting insect. "Still alive," he said. "Good." "The warlord wants his entertainment fresh." Ji-won did not speak. She watched him, noted how he moved, where his armor had gaps, where his weapons hung on his belt. Her academy training was coming back. Observe. Analyze. Find weaknesses. Velcros walked closer. He enjoyed the fear he expected to see. But Ji-won kept her face blank. That seemed to annoy him. "Do you know what humans are to us?" he asked. "You are prey. Weak things, soft, you have no claws, no fangs, no armor. Your species should never have survived to reach the stars." He bent down until his face was close to hers. Ji-won could see scars on his skin, battle marks. This warrior had fought many times. "We have hunted your kind before," Velcros continued. "You run, you hide, you cry, but you always die. Some take longer than others. I hope you take long. That would be more fun." Ji-won finally spoke. Her voice was calm. "How many?" Velcros tilted his head. "What? How many humans have you killed?" The warrior smiled. His sharp teeth showed. 15. All from transport ships, merchants, scientists, weak ones who could not fight. Ji-won nodded slowly. "So you have never fought a soldier?" The smile disappeared from Velcros's face. "You a soldier? You are a child playing in a uniform." Ji-won did not reply. She was learning. This warrior was arrogant. He underestimated humans. That was good. Arrogance was a weakness. Velcros stood up. He walked to the door. Before leaving, he looked back at her. "The warlord will see you soon. He will explain the rules of the hunt. If you survive one cycle, your crew lives. That is what he will tell you. But I will tell you the truth. No matter what happens, your crew will die. We always kill witnesses. So when you run through the hunting deck, know that you are already dead. You just do not know it yet." He left. The door locked behind him. Ji-won sat in the silence. She felt cold. Not from the temperature. From understanding. There was no way out. No deal to make. No mercy to beg for. The Kryloth would kill her. They would kill her crew. This was not a test. This was not training. This was death. She looked at her hands. They were shaking. Fear was trying to take over. She closed her eyes and took deep breaths like her combat instructor had taught her. Control your fear. Do not let it control you. Hours passed. Maybe days. Time felt strange in the cell. No light changed. No sounds came from outside. Just Ji-won and her thoughts. She used the time to plan. The cell door opened inward. That meant anyone coming through would be exposed for a moment. The guard rotation seemed to happen every 6 hours. She counted the footsteps in the corridor. 2 guards, heavy steps, Kryloth warriors. She examined every part of the cell, looking for anything she could use as a weapon. A loose piece of metal. A sharp edge, nothing. The Kryloth had done this before. They knew how to keep prisoners helpless. The door opened again. Different warrior this time, bigger. His armor was decorated with more bones, more trophies. This had to be Warlord Grickstar. He walked into the cell. 2 more warriors followed him. They stood by the door, blocking any escape. Human, Grickstar said. His voice was deeper than Velcros, more commanding. I am told you have spirit. That you struck Velcros when he took you. G1 stood. She would not face this monster sitting down. She met his eyes. Yellow on brown. Predator facing prey. I have a proposal for you, Grickstar continued. A game. You will be released into my hunting deck. It is a large space. Many corridors. Many places to hide. You will have 1 cycle to survive. If you live, I will let your crew go free. You have my word as a warlord liar, G1 said quietly. Grickstar's eyes narrowed. What did you say? You are lying. Velcros told me. You kill all witnesses. My crew is already dead. You are just playing with your food. The warlord stared at her. Then he laughed. A cold, cruel sound. Velcros talks too much. But yes, you are correct. Your crew will die, but their death can be quick or slow. That depends on how entertaining you are in the hunt. Run well, fight hard. Make it interesting. Then I will give them quick deaths. Refuse and they will suffer for days. G1 felt something crack inside her. Not hope, that was already gone. Something else. Something older. Something darker. When? She asked. Now, Grickstar said. He gestured to his warriors. Take her to the hunting deck. Release her at the south entrance. Send 3 hunters. No weapons for the prey. Standard rules. The warriors grabbed G1. She did not resist, not yet. She needed to see the hunting deck first, learn its layout, find its weaknesses. As they dragged her through the corridors, G1 saw other Kryloth warriors watching. They were excited. This was entertainment for them. A show. Human prey running from skilled hunters. They reached a large door. 1 warrior opened it. Beyond was darkness and strange sounds. Metal creaking. Air moving. Machinery humming. The hunting deck. They threw G1 inside. She stumbled but did not fall. The door closed behind her with a loud boom. Lights flickered on, dim, red, creating shadows everywhere. G1 looked around. The space was huge. Multiple levels. Corridors branching in every direction. Obstacles, traps, places to hide. Places to be cornered. A speaker crackled above her. Grickstar's voice echoed through the space. The hunt begins in 60 seconds. 3 hunters will pursue you. Survive 1 cycle. That is all you must do. Run, little human. Run and hide. Show us what your species is made of. G1 started moving. She needed distance. Needed space to think. Her feet carried her deeper into the maze of corridors. 60 seconds, 50, 40. Something was happening inside her, a feeling she had never experienced before. The academy had mentioned it once. In a closed lecture, only senior officers attended. But G1 had heard rumors, whispers, a protocol, a last resort, a transformation that happened when humans faced certain death. 20 seconds. 10. G1's breathing changed, deeper, slower. Her heart rate dropped. Her vision sharpened. Everything became clearer. Every sound, every shadow, every detail 0. Somewhere in the hunting deck, doors opened. 3 Kryloth hunters entered. Armed, trained, experienced. They were hunting. They did not know it yet, but they had already made a terrible mistake. They had cornered a Wolverine. G1 moved through the hunting deck like water, quick, silent. Her academy training had taught her how to move without sound, how to use shadows, how to become invisible. But something was different now. The training was still there, but it felt sharper, faster, more natural. Her body knew what to do before her mind finished thinking. She heard them before she saw them. Heavy footsteps. 3 sets. Coming from different directions. The hunters were spreading out. Smart tactics. They were trying to trap her in a zone. G1 pressed herself against a wall. She controlled her breathing, made it shallow, quiet. A Kryloth warrior passed 3 meters away. He carried a long blade. His eyes scanned the corridors, looking for movement, looking for prey. He walked past without seeing her. Ji-won watched him go. She noted his weapons, his armor, his blind spots, information. She was collecting information. The hunting deck was a maze. Corridors connected to rooms. Rooms connected to more corridors. Some paths were wide, others were narrow. Ji-won used the narrow ones. Her smaller size was an advantage here. The Kryloth were big. They had trouble in tight spaces. Above her, she could see observation platforms. Kryloth warriors stood there, watching, waiting for the show. Grickstar was probably up there too, enjoying his entertainment. Time passed. Minutes. Maybe an hour. Ji-won kept moving, never staying in one place, always watching, always listening. Then one of the hunters found her. She was crossing an open area when she heard the roar behind her. Ji-won spun around. A Kryloth warrior charged toward her. He was fast. Much faster than she expected. Run. That was her first thought. Run and hide. That was what prey did. Ji-won ran. She sprinted down a corridor. The hunter followed. His footsteps were thunder behind her. Getting closer. He was faster than her in straight lines. A dead end. The corridor ended at a wall. No other exits. No escape. Ji-won turned. The hunter walked toward her slowly now. He was smiling. The chase was over. Now came the kill. Too easy, the hunter said. I thought you would be more interesting. Velcro said you had spirit. Ji-won looked around, desperate, looking for anything. Her hand touched something. Metal, a broken piece of the wall, sharp on one end. Not much of a weapon, but better than nothing. The hunter raised his blade. Time to die, human. Ji-won moved. She did not think about it. Her body just acted. She threw the metal piece at the hunter's face. Not to hurt him. To distract him. He raised his arm to block it. That was when Ji-won attacked. She dove low. Under his guard. Her fingers found his eyes. Human fingers were not sharp like claws, but they could still do damage, the hunter screamed. He swung his blade wildly. Ji-won rolled to the side. The blade hit the wall instead of her. The hunter was hurt but not stopped. He grabbed her with one hand while covering his bleeding eyes with the other. His grip was crushing. Ji-won felt her ribs compress. She could not breathe. He lifted her off the ground, brought her close to his face. Blood ran from his eyes down his cheeks. You will regret that, he growled. The hunter raised his other arm, claws extended, ready to tear her apart. Then something changed. Ji-won felt it happen. Like a switch being flipped inside her brain. The fear disappeared. The pain disappeared. Everything became clear and cold and focused. Her vision changed. She saw everything differently now. The hunter was not a monster anymore. He was a target, a collection of weak points, joints, arteries, pressure points. The protocols her academy instructors had mentioned, the classified training, the warnings about what humans became under extreme stress. It was activating. Wolverine Ji-won moved with speed that shocked her. She twisted in the hunter's grip. Her elbow struck his throat, hard, the exact spot that would collapse his airway. The hunter dropped her. His hands went to his neck. He could not breathe, could not speak. His eyes went wide with panic. Ji-won landed on her feet. Her body moved before her mind caught up. She grabbed the hunter's arm, used his own weight against him, threw him into the wall. The hunter hit hard, tried to turn, tried to defend himself. But Ji-won was already moving. She struck again, and again, and again. Each hit was precise, efficient, brutal. The hunter fell. He did not get up. Ji-won stood over him. Her hands were shaking, not from fear, from adrenaline, from something older than fear. On the observation platforms above, the Kryloth warriors had gone silent. They were not cheering anymore. They were watching, waiting, confused. The prey had just killed the hunter. Ji-won heard footsteps, running. The other two hunters were coming. They had heard the fight, heard their companion fall. Good, a voice in Ji-won's head said. It was her voice, but different, colder, more confident. Let them come. She picked up the fallen hunter's blade. It was heavy, designed for Kryloth hands, but Ji-won adjusted her grip, found the balance point, made it work. The two hunters appeared at the end of the corridor. They saw their fallen companion, saw Ji-won standing over him, saw the blade in her hands. They looked at each other, Some silent communication passed between them. Then they charged. Both together, smart. Do not give the prey a chance. Ji-won did not run this time. She moved forward to meet them. Her body knew what to do. Dodge left, strike, roll, strike again. Every movement was efficient. No wasted energy. The first hunter swung his blade. Ji-won ducked under it. Brought her own blade up. Cut across his leg. The hunter roared and stumbled. The second hunter was smarter. More cautious. He circled around her. Looking for an opening, Ji-won did not wait for him to attack. She threw her blade. Not at him. At the lights above. The blade cut through the power cables. Sparks flew. Darkness fell. The hunters had better vision in darkness than humans. But Ji-won was not fighting as a human anymore. She was fighting as something else. Something that hunted in the dark. She used the sounds. Used the echoes. Found the second hunter by his breathing. Her hands found his throat. Squeezed. Held on while he thrashed and tried to throw her off. He fell. The first hunter was still alive. Still dangerous despite his wounded leg. He came at her in the darkness. Ji-won heard him. Stepped aside. Let his momentum carry him into the wall. Emergency lights flickered on. Red and dim. Ji-won saw the hunter on his knees. Trying to stand. She picked up a blade. Walked toward him. Please, the hunter said. It was the first time she had heard one of them beg. Please, we were just following orders. Ji-won looked at him. Thought about Bo-Ra crying. About Captain Ree's helpless face. About all the humans these creatures had killed before. Merchants, scientists, people who could not fight back. So were they, Ji-won said quietly. The hunter fell silent. Above, on the observation platforms, Grickstar stood. His hands gripped the railing. His yellow eyes were wide. This was not entertainment anymore. This was something else. Velcro stood next to the warlord. His voice was barely a whisper. Wolverine, he said. The humans call it Wolverine. Ji-won looked up at them. Even from this distance they could see her eyes. Cold, focused, hunting. She was not prey anymore. She was the predator now. Grickster watched the screens. His claws dug into the metal railing. 3 of his best hunters, dead. Killed by one small human. A female. A child by warrior standards. Impossible, he said. But the bodies on the screen proved otherwise. The human stood among them. Covered in blood. Not her blood, theirs. Velcro stepped back from the railing. His face showed something the warlord had never seen before. Fear. I have heard stories, Velcro said quietly, from older warriors. From those who fought humans in real battles. Not merchants. Not scientists. Soldiers. They said humans have something. A protocol. When they face certain death, something inside them changes. They become different, faster, stronger, relentless. Those are just stories, Grickstar growled. Legends to scare young warriors. Velcros pointed at the screen. Does that look like a legend? Grickster turned to the other warriors on the observation platform. Send 6 more hunters. Armed with plasma weapons. Do not take chances. Kill her on sight. The warriors hesitated. None of them wanted to go. They had watched their companions die. Watched a human do the impossible. Now, Grickster roared. 6 warriors ran to the hunting deck entrance. They checked their weapons 3 times. They moved in tight formation. No one wanted to be alone. Ji-won heard them coming. 6 sets of footsteps. Heavier weapons. They were not playing anymore. They were trying to kill her quickly. Good. She was done playing too. She moved through the hunting deck like a ghost. The Wolverine protocol had taken over completely now. Her mind was clear. Cold. Every movement had purpose. Every action was efficient. The 6 hunters entered the deck. They scanned with their weapons. Plasma rifles. One shot would kill her. They knew it. She knew it. So she did not give them a shot. Ji-won used the environment. Dropped from above onto the first hunter. Her blade found the gap in his armor. He fell without making a sound. 5 left. They heard their companion fall, turned, fired at shadows. At nothing. Ji-won was already gone. She circled around them. Found the second hunter at the rear. He was watching behind the group. Smart positioning, but not smart enough. Ji-won grabbed him from behind, one hand over his mouth, the other hand holding the blade. Quick, silent, efficient. 4 left. The remaining hunters were panicking now. They fired at every sound, every shadow. Their plasma bolts lit up the darkness. But Ji-won was never where they aimed. She had learned their patterns, learned how they thought, how they moved. They were trained hunters. But their training was predictable, and predictable meant vulnerable. The third hunter died when she collapsed a section of the ceiling onto him. The fourth died when she led him into one of the hunting deck traps. His own trap, 2 left. These 2 were better, more experienced. They stayed back to back, covered each other, did not chase shadows. They were waiting for her to make a mistake. Ji-won did not make mistakes anymore. The Wolverine did not make mistakes. She waited, watched, let them get tired, let them get desperate. Time was on her side now. One of them finally broke. He turned too quickly, left his partner exposed for just a moment. Ji-won moved. Her blade flew through the air, struck the exposed hunter in the throat. 1 left. The last hunter was alone now. He knew it. He could hear his own breathing, could hear his heart pounding, could hear death coming for him. He ran. Training abandoned, tactics forgotten. He just ran. Ji-won pursued. She was faster than him in the narrow corridors. She knew the hunting deck now, knew every corner, every trap, every path. She caught him in an open area. He turned to fight, fired his plasma rifle. The bolt passed centimeters from Ji-won's head. She felt the heat, did not flinch. She closed the distance before he could fire again, took the rifle from his hands, used it to strike him down. 0 left. Ji-won stood in the center of the hunting deck. 9 dead Kryloth warriors around her. She looked up at the observation platforms. At Grickstar and his remaining crew, the Kryloth warriors were silent. No more cheering. No more entertainment. Just fear. Ji-won smiled. It was not a happy smile. It was the smile of a predator who had just realized she was free. The hunting deck had doors. Maintenance access. They led into the ship, into the corridors where the other Kryloth lived. Ji-won found one of the doors, forced it open. The plasma rifle in her hand still had power, still had shots left. She entered the ship. On the observation platform, Velcros grabbed the warlord's arm. She is loose in the ship. We need to seal the sections. Contain her. Grickstar pulled his arm free. He was still a warlord, still a leader, still a warrior who had never shown fear. Send everyone to the lower decks. Every warrior we have, armed with heavy weapons. We will overwhelm her with numbers. Velcros looked at the warlord. We should run. Abandon ship. She is just one human. Grickstar grabbed Velcros by the throat, lifted him off the ground. We do not run from prey. We are Kryloth. We are hunters. We are warriors. We will kill this human and mount her head on my wall. Do you understand? Velcros nodded. Grickstar dropped him. But as the warriors rushed to arm themselves, Velcros looked at the screens, looked at the 9 bodies, looked at the blood, and he knew the truth. They were not the hunters anymore. They were the prey. Ji-won moved through the ship corridors. Her senses were heightened. Every sound, every smell, every movement. The Wolverine protocol had taken over completely now. She was not Ji-won Park anymore. Not the nervous cadet. Not the scared prisoner. She was a weapon. Pure, efficient, unstoppable. She heard footsteps ahead. Multiple warriors, coming to stop her. She pressed against a wall, waited. They appeared around the corner, 5 of them, all armed. Already Ji-won fired the plasma rifle. 3 shots, 3 dead warriors. The other 2 scattered, tried to find cover. She did not give them time. She moved forward, used the chaos, the smoke, the fear. Her blade found them both. She kept moving, deeper into the ship, toward the bridge, toward Grickstar. Behind her, bodies marked her path. The Kryloth warriors tried to stop her, tried to trap her, tried to kill her. They all failed. Alarms blared through the ship. Red lights flashed. The crew was panicking. These predators, these hunters, these warriors who had terrorized space lanes and killed innocent humans. They were learning what it meant to be hunted. Ji-won found a communications panel. She accessed it. The Kryloth security was good, but not good enough. Her academy training had included electronic warfare. She broke through the encryption. She opened a channel, broadcast to the entire ship. I am coming for you, Grickstar. I am coming for all of you. You wanted to hunt a human. Now you will learn what humans really are. She closed the channel, kept moving. The bridge was 3 decks above. Between her and Grickstar were 20 more warriors. Heavy weapons. Prepared positions. The best the warlord had. It would not be enough. G1 smiled again. That cold predator smile, the hunt was almost over. The bridge of the Kryloth ship was locked down. Heavy blast doors sealed. Armed warriors at every entrance. Grickster stood in the center, surrounded by his best fighters. His elite guard. The communication system crackled. Reports came in from all over the ship. Warriors down. Sections compromised. The human was still moving. Still killing how many? Grickster demanded. 23 confirmed dead, a warrior reported. His voice shook. Maybe more. She is moving too fast. We cannot track her. Velcro stood near the door. His hand rested on his weapon. He was ready to run. The warlord could see it. If you try to leave, I will kill you myself, Grickstar said. Velcros did not move, but his eyes kept darting to the door. To the escape pods. To anywhere but here. Then the lights went out. Emergency power kicked in after a moment. Red lights, dim, casting shadows everywhere. She cut the main power, a warrior said. She is in the engineering section. Send everyone there, Grickstar ordered. Everyone except the bridge guard. Killer, the warriors left. Running toward engineering. Running toward death. G1 was not in engineering. She had cut the power and left. Let them chase shadows. Let them waste time. She was already moving toward the bridge. The ship layout was clear in her mind now. Every corridor. Every room. Every access point. The Wolverine protocol had given her perfect memory. Perfect awareness. She found a ventilation shaft. Crawled through it. The space was tight. Barely enough room for her. But she fit. The Kryloth were too large to follow. She emerged 1 deck above the bridge. Directly above it. She could hear voices below. Grickstar giving orders. Warriors preparing for an attack that would come from the wrong direction. G1 found a maintenance panel. Opened it. Inside were conduits and cables. Power systems. Life support. She studied them. Understood them. She cut specific cables. Not randomly, precisely. The bridge blast doors needed power to stay closed. She cut that power. Below, alarms blared. The heavy doors started to open. Slowly. The emergency releases had activated. What is happening? Grickster roared. The doors! A warrior shouted. They are opening. Close them! We cannot! Power is cut! The warriors formed a defensive line. Weapons ready, facing the opening doors. Expecting G1 to come through them, she did not. G1 dropped from the ceiling. Crashed through a weak panel. Landed behind the defensive line. Behind the warriors. In the center of the bridge, the warriors spun around, too slow. G1 was already moving. The plasma rifle fired. Again and again. Warriors fell. The ones who got close found her blade. Found her fists. Found her fury. It was chaos. Brutal and fast. The elite guard fought hard. They were the best warriors the Kryloth had. But they were not prepared for this. For a human who moved like death, who fought like a nightmare. One by one, they fell. Velcros tried to run, made it to the door. G1 caught him, pulled him back. He turned to face her, raised his weapon. Please, he said. I am just a soldier. Following orders. You said that yourself. We were just following orders. G1 remembered the cell, the threats. The enjoyment in his voice when he told her everyone would die. No, she said. You enjoyed it. Velcros fell. Only Grickstar remained. The warlord stood alone. His warriors dead around him. His ship compromised. His prey turned predator. He raised his own weapon. A massive blade, ornate, decorated with bones from 100 kills. You fight well, human, Grickstar said. Better than I expected, but I am a warlord. I have killed thousands. You are just one small female. G1 picked up a blade from one of the fallen warriors. She was tired. Her body hurt. Blood covered her. Some hers. Most not, but the Wolverine did not stop. Did not quit. Did not surrender. Come then, she said. Let us end this, Grickstar charged. He was fast for his size. Strong. His blade cut through the air. G1 dodged. Barely. The blade passed centimeters from her face. She struck back. Her blade found his armor. But the armor held. Too thick. Too strong. They fought across the bridge. Blade against blade. The warlord had strength. Had experience. Had size. But Ji-won had something he did not understand. She had the fury of every human these predators had killed, the determination of her crew watching helplessly, the cold precision of a species that survived by refusing to die. She was human, and humans did not give up. Grixtar made a mistake. He overreached. Committed too much to one strike. Ji-won saw it, moved inside his guard. Her blade found the gap in his armor. The joint where arm met body. The warlord roared, dropped his blade, grabbed her with his other hand, lifted her, threw her across the bridge. Ji-won hit the wall hard. Pain exploded through her back. She fell to the floor, struggled to stand. Grixtar walked toward her. Blood ran from his wound, but he was still standing. Still fighting. You cannot win, he said. I am stronger, bigger, better. Ji-won stood. Her legs shook. Her vision blurred. But she stood. No, she said. You are not better. You are just a bully. A predator who hunts the weak. You never learned what it means to fight someone who fights back. Grixtar charged again. Ji-won waited. Let him come. At the last moment, she moved. Not away, toward him, under his guard. Her hands found a control panel. She pressed the emergency airlock release. The bridge had a viewport. Large, reinforced. But the emergency system could open it. For evacuations. For emergencies. The viewport opened. Space beyond. Vacuum. Death. Wind screamed as the air rushed out. Grixtar grabbed a console, held on. Ji-won grabbed a support beam. Held tight. The warlord was heavier, bigger. Harder for the vacuum to pull. But his wound was bleeding. Weakening him. His grip was failing. Ji-won watched him. Their eyes met. Yellow on brown. Predator and prey. But the roles had reversed. This is for my crew, Ji-won said. For every human you killed. For everyone you hurt. Grixtar's grip failed. He was pulled toward the open viewport. Toward space. He screamed. A terrible sound. Then he was gone. Ji-won closed the viewport. Emergency systems sealed it. Air rushed back in. She collapsed to her knees. The Wolverine protocol was fading now. The adrenaline was draining away. Pain came flooding back. She crawled to the communications console. Opened a channel to the Endeavor. Captain, she said. Her voice was weak. This is Cadet Park. The Kryloth ship is secured. You can come aboard. Silence. Then Captain Rhee's voice. Ji-won, is that really you? Yes, sir, it is me. Are you hurt? I will live, sir. The Kryloth. Dead, sir. All of them. Another silence. Longer this time. We are coming, Captain Rhee said. Hold on, Ji-won. Just hold on. 20 minutes later, the Endeavor crew entered the Kryloth ship. They moved carefully. Weapons ready. Expecting danger, they found bodies instead. Kryloth warriors. Dozens of them. Dead in corridors, in rooms. In the hunting deck. They found Ji-won on the bridge. She was sitting against a wall. Eyes closed. Covered in blood. For a moment, they thought she was dead. Then Bora ran forward. Ji-won! She knelt beside her friend. Took her hand. Ji-won opened her eyes. Smiled weakly. Bora burst into tears. Hugged her friend. I thought you were dead. I thought they killed you. They tried, Ji-won said. Lieutenant Heian walked through the bridge, looking at the dead warriors. At the destruction. She looked at Ji-won with something like awe. How many? She asked. I do not know, Ji-won said. I stopped counting. Captain Rhee helped Ji-won to her feet. Let us get you to medical. As they walked through the ship, the crew saw the evidence. The blood. The bodies. The proof of what one human could do when cornered, when threatened, when transformed. The Wolverine protocol had saved her. Saved them all. 3 weeks later, Ji-won stood in front of the Galactic Council. Her arm was in a sling. Bruises still covered her face. But she stood tall. The council members listened to her report. Heard about the Kryloth attack, about the hunting deck, about what happened when they cornered a human. Some council members were skeptical. Some were impressed. All were wary. The human delegation sent a message to every species in the galaxy. It was simple, direct, clear. Humans are not prey. We are not weak. We are not easy targets. We have walked among you peacefully. We have traded. We have cooperated. We have been kind. But do not mistake kindness for weakness. Do not mistake peace for helplessness. Because when you corner a human, when you threaten what we protect, when you push us too far, you will discover what evolution really made us. We are survivors. We are fighters. We are Wolverines. The galaxy learned that lesson. Ships stopped raiding human vessels. Pirates found easier targets. Predator species gave humans space, and G1 Park received a new assignment, a new uniform, a new insignia, a silver Wolverine on her collar. She was no longer just a cadet. She was a symbol, a reminder, a warning. She stood on the observation deck of a new ship, watching the stars. Bora joined her. "Are you okay?" Bora asked.
Really okay?
G1 thought about the question, thought about what she had done, what she had become. The lives she had taken, I do not know, she said honestly. But I am alive. You are alive. Our crew is alive. That has to be enough. Bora took her hand. You saved us. You saved everyone. G1 squeezed back. I did what I had to do, what any human would do. We protect our own. No matter the cost, they stood together. Two friends. Two survivors. Two humans who knew the truth about their species. Humans were not the strongest species, not the fastest, not the biggest, but they were the most dangerous when cornered, the most relentless when threatened, the most terrifying when protecting what they loved. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Never corner a Wolverine.